Welcome to the Notary Educators with Kimmi YouTube channel. Hosts Kimmi and Jeff Nunnally, along with Alexis Franklin, share expert insights to help you launch and grow a successful mobile notary business, no matter what state you are commissioned in. Learn how to become a top-notch loan signing agent and get answers to common notary questions. Explore our all-inclusive $47 monthly training library, plus live weekly online coaching sessions with courses on general notary work, wedding efficient services, remote online notary, ink fingerprinting, apostille, translation services, and I-9 completion. So please remember that Notary Educators LLC is your one-stop shop for notary training. Now sit back and watch Kimmi and crew, and don't forget to subscribe to the Notary Educators with Kimmi YouTube channel for more tips. Take your notary business to new heights.
It's Kimmi. I'm your host, Kimmi Nunnally, #1 notary educator. How's it going? How's it going? I have just wrapped up. I don't think I'm closed for today. Technically, I'm still open on paper on Google. But I just wrapped up what I hope is my last job for today. I've been running these notary streets, so I'm a little tired. I've been all over the place today. So that's what prompted this particular video I'm doing right now. I really want to emphasize the need for you to have witnesses. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to do a deep dive into that again. I've talked about it many times here, but I still see people not having witnesses. And I don't know why people don't believe that that's important to create a witness list when you're starting your business. So for those of you who may be brand new to the channel, I'm Kimmi. I am a notary educator. I train nationwide. Also have a mentorship program where we also teach you how to develop those skills as a notary, have a great foundation. As I always say, if you don't know your business, you have no business doing business, okay? So anyway, welcome to the channel. And again, today we're going to talk a little bit about witnesses, why they are so important, and, why you need them and how you should pay them, and talk a little bit more about witnesses, because I had 3 jobs today. All 3 of them needed witnesses, all 3. So let's say hey to a few people. Welcome, Lisa. How you doing, Lisa? Lisa is actually assisting us with the chat now. If you don't know, she's a part of the mentorship program, and she's been doing so well that we were even able to ask her to assist us with our group chat now. So we're so appreciative to have her on our team, assisting in that capacity. Hopefully, as we continue to grow, we'll see what else she'll be doing, and other people. It's just been amazing to work with people that we know their stuff, and because I don't just give my work to anybody, like I've been saying my last couple of lives. So even helping you all, I don't just have anybody to help my team, help our mentees. So welcome, Lisa. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Lori W's in the house. Lori's always dropping gems over there too. She's part of mentorship. Cynthia's saying, what scanner do you recommend? We have a recommended list of everything, Cynthia, all notary supplies. We have an Epson, and we also have a Brothers. So check out the recommended supply list. Okay, it's completely free. It's very thorough, and you'll get an idea of what type of equipment we have, what we use. Okay, so the recommended supply list is at notaryeducatorsllc.com, and just click it and download it. It's completely free. A lot of free resources there. Just talked about that recently, and I don't think I mentioned the recommended supply list when I talked about the resources, but there are quite a few free resources. Okay. So let's get into what is a witness. Why do notaries need witnesses? So today, like I was saying, I had 3 jobs. My first one was a power of attorney / medical directive. So it was almost a trust estate package, almost, but it was missing a few pieces. But it still took us a little while to get through it because she just wanted to chit chat a little bit, and it was cool. We were fine. And for that particular job, I needed 2 witnesses, not just one. I needed 2. So for those 2, I used one of our mentees. Shout out. I won't say her name just in case for privacy reasons, but I used one of our mentees. I do try to respect people's privacy. And then the second one was my husband. So that particular signing needed 2. Okay. Now, so that was for one of my signings. My second and my third signing that I did today were both law modifications, and each of them only required 1 witness. So in my case, I was able to use Jeffrey, my husband. He's also a notary. Your witness does not have to be a notary, but I recommend that your witness be at least 18 years old. Now, per your handbook, they probably can be younger. Okay, per your handbook. So I'll push back on you to know what your state law says. But Kimmi law says 18 because that's when they can sign anything else. So I'm not using a 13-year-old to sign a document. I'm not. Now, if you choose to do that in your business, go for it. Okay. But I don't recommend that. I wouldn't have a minor sign anything for me. And I wouldn't recommend you do that either. I just wouldn't. Mm-mm. Hey, Notary fam, it's Kimmi. I am here to let you know, just in case you have not heard about the Notary Business Coaching Success Program. We meet weekly. We talk about your notarial duties, how to do an acknowledgement, how to do a jurat, how to administer an oath, everything you've been asking for. And guess what else is included? Unlimited access to all of my trainings that will also include ink fingerprinting, trust/estate documents, learn how to properly execute a trust. Don't forget, we also have the private community, like-minded notaries who have been trained by me. Check out my book that I've written for each state, How to Start Your Notary Business in Alabama, California. You get the point. Wherever you're located, there's a book for your state. Well, hopefully I'll see you soon over in training. Notary Educators, LLC. We got you covered. Bye. Because typically to be prosecuted, a person has to be 18 years old. Okay, so I want them to be a legal adult when they start witnessing documents. And that's a Kimmi law, okay? So some example of documents that require a witness. Let's talk about that a little bit. So a power of attorney, depending on what type, not all power of attorneys are created equal. That's the first thing we teach you in training. But you do need to make sure, so a power of attorney, sometimes the medical directive will require 2 witnesses. Now, the medical directive does not have to be notarized, but 90% of your clients will ask you to notarize that, okay? And that's going to be a state-specific thing. But all of the ones I've ever seen throughout all of my years, they don't require it, but my clients want it notarized, okay? So that requires witnesses. Anything with a deed or property, usually depending on what state it is in, the property can require 1 or 2 witnesses, okay? So you really need to make sure that you're checking that document. You're asking your screening questions. We go over screening questions. I have it written in front of the journal here, okay? If you have not seen the journal collection, we'll come back to all that. So I want to make sure that you know what documents require the witness. Now, who do I use typically for my witnesses? Anybody that's 18 years or older. It doesn't have to be a fellow notary. In my case, because I have such a large pool of notaries I can pull from, I have our mentee group, our mentorship group. I also have our Notary Educators Facebook page that I can pull from. Okay. And then I have my own personal list of witnesses, people that are not connected to the notary industry at all. I have an Uber driver that's a friend of the family, and he'll come and be a witness for me. I just did a signing for a friend of the family rather. And he just said, hey, if you need a witness, I'll be one. Now, prior to losing my mom and my father-in-law, they served as witnesses for me all the time. Both of them. They be fighting. Who's going to be the witness? Okay, so it could be your husband, your boyfriend, your sister, anyone 18 years of age, your neighbor, if they don't mind. I have a lot of people who don't mind making a little extra money. They don't. They don't. Okay. Now, why again are witnesses so important? Because again, all 3 of my jobs today required a witness. And if I did not have those witnesses, those documents did not move. And it's just as simple as that. There's no way around it. You can't say, let me put them on a telephone. Hey, can I do a Zoom call? No, they need to be right there in the room where it's happening, unless you're doing a remote online notary, okay? And for those of you who may not know, remote online notary is just that. It's done completely online remotely. You're in your house, they're in their house, and then everybody come together on the computer. So that's what a remote online notary is, okay? So just being clear though, again, I only use an 18-year-old, and it could be anybody that's 18. I don't care who you are. I've had situations where people will say, hey, especially if it's at a nursing home, well, I'll just get the staff to do it. I'll get the nurse or I'll get the social worker. Sometimes they will sign as a witness, but a lot of times they will not. They will not, because it's a conflict of interest. It could be. So a lot of times they will not. Sometimes you will find people will say, well, I'll use a family member. We don't tell them what to do, but we highly recommend that they don't. And I make it so strongly that I'll just use verbiage like, well, Mr. Smith, you wouldn't want to use your son and then they send back the documents, because your son could eventually maybe benefit from your property. And by the time you kind of push back like that, they're typically okay with you finding a witness, or they find another witness on their own.